What's going on, YouTube family? Back at it with another video. I was actually at work and I was thinking about this. It was kind of weird to me how this is such a thing that's persisted for so long and people still actually jump on board or never decline. But all my Madden fans will actually understand Madden football and all that kind of stuff. But what is the deal with this Madden curse? Everyone who ever graces the cover of the Madden football game always ends up either getting hurt or something that's bad. Not necessarily always getting hurt, but I was thinking about this and I actually went back through the history and it actually has some validity to it. So I wanted to take a look at the history of this Madden curse. So, let's not even waste any time. Let's go ahead and get into it. And when I first looked it up, it had a lot of different options, but this is the most recent one I found in regards to this. So, as you can see, well, I think the Madden football game started like back in 1992. Because I actually had the game, I remember, on the Sega Genesis is when it first came out. Either way, so John Madden himself, the man who actually came up with the idea for it, legendary coach John Madden, God rest his soul, is the inspiration for the game anyway. So either way, he was on the cover all the way up until the 1999-2000 season. Of course, since he was long, did he ever even play? I can't remember if he played or not, but I just know he was a legendary coach, and that's what he got like super famous for. So we're gonna go ahead and scroll past this. Not gonna worry about it. Who cares? I've got all kinds of stuff popping up. What is this? Don't care. Shut up. So, like I said, he was actually on the cover himself for the longest time. Then he actually decided, it'd be an honor to have someone grace the cover. So, like, ever since, they would grace the cover with, like, an athlete that was doing an outrageous thing. As you can see, and I'll move my head so that you can see it better. I'll move my head. There we go. But as you can see right here, the 2000 season, the season leading into 2000 was the first time. So in July 1999, it was like, hey, Barry Sanders. Of course, as y'all seen in the previous video, my favorite player of all time, and probably truly the greatest running back of all time. He just retired early, and he must have had some really good foresight because it was just so happens in 1999 he was supposed to be on the cover. In fact, I think he was on the cover, but he retired, so he didn't actually get a chance to get hurt. So you can kind of sort of say he was cursed. Ended a perfectly good, uninjured career for no good reason. Could have stayed in and broke so many other records. Yeah, so I would say that's a curse. That's pretty bad. Eddie George, I ain't gonna go through this because this is like 20 years of this joint. But Eddie George running 1,500 yards in a season in 2001 season. Yeah, season ending injury. So yeah, curse. 2002, Dante Culpepper, injury. 2003, Marshall Falk, beast mode of a running back himself. You guessed it. Broke down. Injury. Mike Vick. We already know what all the bugs that he went through. Not to mention, the whole jail thing because of the pit bull fighting. Then he did actually end up getting hurt. Yeah, he did. He hurt himself, and then, he just had a world of stress. It was unnecessary. Yeah, so fast forward to 2005, Ray Lewis, beast mode of a player himself. Alright, doesn't really mention what's going on, but still. Did he? I mean, he missed games. Missed games that could add it to a stat line. I consider that pretty bad, no matter what the case particularly was. But he missed games that was unnecessary for him to miss. I consider that bad. That's pretty much, that's 2/3 of a season. Yes, that's not cursed, but let me miss 10 of the games and I'm not even hurt. It doesn't even say he's hurt. He got hurt. Donovan McNabb. Again, someone who didn't even really get hurt, but had a falling out with one of his main receivers. Okay. Then Sean Alexander, I had almost actually forgotten about that deal. But look, it happened to him too. It just randomly dropped in stats for some reason, just out of nowhere. It doesn't even say he got hurt or anything specifically, but again, a significant drop in stats after having such a incredible 5 seasons, 5 straight seasons. Yeah. Vince Young. Now that dude, when he was coming out of college, they made a big deal about him. Ended up only having 9 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. Bruh, he had almost twice as many interceptions as he did touchdown passes. Curse. Brett Favre. You know what I mean? He was blessed enough to be able to play almost into his 40s. But the whole reason he left the Packers, as we see right here, is because of some unnecessary crap that he got forced out. Then, of course, he hurt himself and got 22 interceptions. So, I mean, pretty bad. Now this is around the time I kind of fell off with Madden, so this one was kind of new to me when I saw this. But Larry Fitzgerald and Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu was actually one of my favorite players. Of course, he was a strong safety. He was one of my favorite defensive players. But you know, both of them had something that caused them a decline. Though Larry Fitzgerald was not quite as bad, but I mean, Polamalu got injured. Drew Brees suffered a terrible 22 picks. I mean, these quarterbacks getting all these interceptions. That's terrible, man. I mean, who wants that? Especially at the caliber they are. I mean, think about that. It's crazy. Peyton Hill, again, don't really know too much about this guy. Really wasn't on the Madden. I still hadn't gotten back into the Madden kick too much at that particular point in time. But apparently, according to this, people had actually forgotten about him for a while. But he got injured. Another injury. Calvin Johnson, Megatron. I mean, you don't really think too much about him being hurt, but according to this, he actually had some kind of crazy foresight like Barry Sanders and retired prior to actually, you know, having any kind of misfortune technically. And we can actually say he dodged it a little bit because, again, he did actually kind of get hurt, kind of, sort of, but I don't remember him getting hurt. But either way, he was also kind of old, so we can potentially say he dodged. He may have been the only one to really truly dodge the curse other than Barry Sanders. Adrian Peterson. You know, we already know what kind of situation he went through. That wasn't even cool. That wasn't even right for him to be put in that situation. But misfortune. Cursed. Richard Sherman. Would we really consider him? Yeah, that very first sentence. Of course, they rule it not cursed, but considering the Seahawks actually missed out on a championship repeat. Actually, I think I remember that interception that they're talking about. I think I do. But actually, that repeat was more along the lines of that terrible pass that was thrown instead of them, you know, instead of Russell Wilson throwing, he threw the ball at right there at the goal line, as opposed to letting beast mode run it in. I think that was the season that happened, because it says repeat, and that was that's exactly what happened. So yeah, that's curse. I'm gonna go ahead and rule that curse. Odell Beckham, with his current situation in hand by itself, curse. Okay, because not only has he been injured, he got exiled from the Giants because of all the uproar that he had. And now he's on the Cleveland Browns. He doesn't want to be there. Not only that, but he's also nursing an injury that was handled incorrectly, as a lot of athletes have happened to them. So yeah, Kurt, you say not first. Who's not first? Um, Gronk. Yeah, cursed. Injury. Not even really gonna go into that because I'm not much of a Patriots fan, but they get what they get what they get. They put a lot of effort into what they got going on, and right now they have a 10-3 record, only because they lost to the most recent, the team of the most recent cursed player. But okay, then 2018 last year, Tom Brady. This the person who wrote this might have been biased in a lot of ways, but Tom Brady, Tom Brady being immune to the curse, no, no, no. For you to have such the reputation that you have, and as badly as you got beaten in that in that Super Bowl, curse. Don't at me. But that brings me to the 2019 curse. Who's on the who is on the cover? And who's been hurt this season? Pat Holmes. Sorry, brother. You had a great career so far. You've played insane, made some insane plays, but yeah, you joined the long list of curses as well. So I hate to hear about it, my friend, but yeah. Anyway, man, like I said, this is just to conclude that, like I said, I don't understand why people accept this curse. Well, yeah, they pretty much accept the curse. But I can't really understand why someone. I can't even really finish the sentence. I just don't understand. Why in the world, with 20 years of this happening, either injury or some other kind of issue, trouble, or something happens to the person who graces the cover of the game, why are you still playing? Why are people still accepting this honor, so to speak? It's not much of an honor anymore, in my opinion. I think I'll pass. You guys let me know what y'all think in the comment section, and I'll catch up with you later.